It's Monday morning, and I don't know if you can see how huge the smile on my face is, but it's massive. I'm so excited and happy. So, I got together with my typesetter this weekend, and we started the typesetting of the book, and the main bulk of the work is done. It's like the whole book it's a book. The interior of the book is complete. So I want to say two thumbs up to Mike Sus because you're awesome. And wow, I can't believe it's like going to be a real thing. And the book is like a real, oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm fixing my camera because I'm putzing. So it has been a hectic ride with this book. The second Taylor Mage novel, which is entitled Bloodwater, will be coming out with luck in the next 2 to 3 weeks at the outside. If the universe shits unicorn poo and everything goes perfect, it might be out as early as the middle of next week. I can't guarantee that though, so I'm giving you the low ball. It's the Scotty principle. If I tell you, she kind of take much more of this, Captain, um, things will go better. So that's where we're at. But I can't even explain the excitement of looking and seeing it complete on the page and seeing the page numbers come up and every oh wow, just wow. It blows my mind. Second only to actually holding the physical book in my hands. Ah, so I don't know if you guys know, every week, usually on Mondays, I put up a quote on my website, which is m.allison.sabo. If I remember, I can't find my damn website. Of course, it's https:// m.allison.sabo, all one word, .weebly.com. There we go. No dots except for the between the Weebly and com. I put up a quote there every week to do with writing or editing or covering anything to do with the writing process and the creative process. And they're meant to inspire and to make you think and maybe help those of us who are struggling a little bit. So often they have to do with stuff that I'm dealing with because I'm dealing with it and I'm the one putting it up. So, if you want to put up quotes that are good for you, you should totally, go out and make your own web channel. So there. Anyway, today's today's quote I wanted to read out loud and I wanted to share with you because it's very germane to right now. It is by Charles Finch. He says, "To me, the single biggest mark of the amateur writer is a sense of hurry. Hurry to finish a manuscript, hurry to edit it, hurry to publish it. It's definitely possible to write a book in a month, leave it unedited, and watch it go off into the world and be declared a masterpiece. It happens every 50 years or so. For the rest of us, the single greatest ally we have is time. There's no page of prose in existence that its author can't improve after it's been in a drawer for a week. The same is true on the macro level. Every time I finish a story or a book, I try to put it away and forget it for as long as I can. When I return, its problems are often so obvious and easy to fix that I'm amazed I ever struggled with them. Amateur writers are usually desperate to be published as soon as possible, and I understand that feeling. You just want to start your career, your next book, whatever. But I wonder how many self published novels might have had a chance at getting bought and finding more readers if their authors had a bit more patience with them." Charles Finch, gentlemen and ladies, and gentles in general. So, why is this important? Well, it's important because literally the reason that getting the second Taylor Mage novel out took so long is because I took that time. I took the time to go through and edit it properly. I had hoped that I would be getting it out to a professional pay the money editor, but yeah, and there wasn't enough income from the first book to really fund that. So I had to make a choice between whether I was getting a professional cover or professional editing. And I went, I professional edit for other people. If I put this in a drawer for a week or a month or 6 months, don't judge me. I can come back to it with fresh eyes and do a better job of editing. And indeed, that's what I did. I did have help from people. I'd like to do a call out to a couple of my friends, Bill, who was one of the first test readers, Michaela, who was the first person to hear the book. She's a test reader. She listens while I read it out loud for the first time, which is always harrowing because she gets to hear all of my mistakes. So, and to Mike, because you've put up with so much, and of course to Chris and Bridget, because y'all do that. Anyway, the editing was something I felt I could handle. The cover is something I definitely can't handle. I am not an expert at that. And Starla Hutchton does such an amazing job and has really brought the novel to life through its covers. And so I did not want to infringe on that. Besides which, she'd already given me the pre-image for the second book, and my little heart jumped for joy, and I can't not have that on the front of my book now because it's so awesome. And there's a whole story behind it, which I will tell you guys if you come to my first author signing, wherever that happens to be. It will probably end up being at Toadstool this summer because that's where I tend to do my author signings, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, the long wait is almost over. The dry season is almost done. The book will be out this month, and you will have it in your hot little hands about 3 days after you order it on Amazon. Or if you want to buy it from me, I will have copies with me at New Hampshire Ren Fair and some of the other events that I go to. If it's published in time, I'll bring some to the Jaffrey St. Paddy's Day Parade too, because I can. I'm really excited about this. Guys, I have worked so hard on this novel. This was harder than the first one in a lot of ways because the story for the first one was written 18 years ago. I mean, I had more than 18, gosh, 30 years ago. No, I can't. Those numbers are too big. You didn't hear me say that. But those storylines largely were done ages and ages ago. I just filled in the details. And the characters reprimanded me in a few places where apparently I had remembered it wrong, or just they decided they didn't want to go that way. But that's fine. Characters do that. Alex is a mouthy bitch because she's like me. So, it happens. But the second book was a foray into an entirely new world for me. It's the same universe, of course, and it's the same characters with a handful of new ones, but it was a whole new storyline that I had never really thought of before. It kind of came to me while I was working on things. And that was a new and exciting venture. And it definitely took a lot more out of me as an author. I had to really work at getting the words on the page, and I had to really work at editing those words when it came time to do so. There I go, yawning again. So I'm going to do my coffee now. Oh, elixir of the gods. So I spent more than a year editing Bloodwater. And if you want to know why, the answer is partly because I procrastinated. I put it down over the Christmas holidays like I always do, and then I had a really hard time picking it up. But the other reason is that when I ran into trouble spots, instead of glossing over it and just saying, well, it's good enough, I decided no, good enough was not good enough. It wasn't good enough for me, and it's not good enough for you guys as readers. And I spent the time to make it right. I made it right for myself. I made it right for the characters. I made it right for you, the fans. And that's so important to me, to give a quality product. It would be so easy to just toss it out there. I'm aware that my grammar and spelling is probably a notch higher than most people's. And I don't mean that in a bragging sort of way. It's just that it's been so hammered into me and it's so part of me that my first drafts tend to be relatively readable in comparison to most people's. That doesn't mean that they're ready for publication, though, by any stretch of the imagination. Editing is the most difficult part. It's when you have to go and you take this child and you cut it to pieces and make it better. It's so scary because you don't know if there's still going to be your baby at the end of it. So it's done and it's in typesetting. It got uploaded to KDP, and then it has a thing where you can preview what the finished page is going to look like. And there were some errors that I noticed as I was scanning through. And so I have to actually go through, properly scan it, and make sure that those errors are corrected. That is next weekend. That'll be done. After that, I'm just waiting on Starla and the cover. And wow, what an exciting thought. The cover will be made. The back cover will be made. The blurb has to be written. Oh, crap. Okay, so I have one more thing I have to write. I hate writing back blurbs. It is the worst part of writing a novel. It's worse than editing. It's worse than slogging through spelling errors. It's worse than everything else. I despise writing blurbs, but I'm going to go do that because it's important. And then I'll get all of that information to Starla, and away we go. As soon as that cover is in my hot little hands, it goes through KDP's double check process to make sure that I didn't just write naughty words on the inside of the book and call it a book. That will go to live as soon as they are finished their part of it, and I click the gorgeous red button. And I'm so excited because it's close. And you know what else that means? It means that after this week, I won't have anything else to do with the second Taylor Mage novel. That means that all of my time will be on the cookbook and getting that done. And let me tell you, that's starting to look really exciting. And having seen how the typesetting it's done with Mike, it was great because he's got the programs and the professional stuff to make all the doodads work right. I don't know. I don't do that part. I looked and went, that's pretty. I want that one. You know, luckily he likes me. So I am really excited to get the cookbook out. I managed to get my hands on some royalty free, the woodcuts from medieval books and cookbooks and things like that. So I have some really nice period imagery that I can use in the chapters, which I was very excited about because I can't afford to buy a bunch of pictures. And I also, because I'm trying to keep the costs down on the cookbook so that it's affordable for everyone, I didn't want to put a lot of photography in there because photography takes up space, it makes more pages, and makes the book more expensive. And that wasn't my goal. The goal was to have a quality cookbook with good recipes and excellent historical information for $25 or less. So I think I'm going to hit the $25 mark. I'm going to try really hard not to push it up to 30 because I think 25 is kind of the make or break point for this one. And so that's where we're going. It's in a slightly different format than the fictional books, of course, because it should be. It'll be in a standard cookbook size, which is slightly larger than the fictional novels that I'm putting out. The text will be different, of course, and there will be images. It's just coming together really well. A thank you to everybody who has supported me. I can't name you all. There are so many of you, but thank you. I can't express how amazing and wonderful it is to have the support and the encouragement that you guys bring to me. And I hope that the videos and the things that I write in the book and that are useful to you. I hope that you feel the same sense of support and camaraderie because I have no other way to give it back to you other than to say you are all amazing and you know who you are. If it weren't for my family and my friends and my household, I couldn't have done any of this. You have stood by me through so much, and you've encouraged me and you've kept me going and said been my cheerleaders, and there are no words. I'm out of words. So with that, I'm going to tell you guys goodbye for the day. Thank you for your support. Please consider buying the second Taylor Mage novel. You're going to be loving the story. It's fantastic. I think you'll really like it. And it's exciting and different. It's very different from the first book. Alex is a seasoned vampire now. You know, she knows what she's doing, and there's in some ways, a little less sass to her in this, and a little more self exploration and growth, and you get to see that in her. And also keep in mind that the Clarion Call um, anthology will be coming out soon, and I'll be announcing that when it comes out. When that comes out, it has a short story with one of the characters from the second novel in it. So you'll get a chance to read the backstory of one of the characters who's becoming important to Alex and her storyline. It might be of interest to you, so it might be worth picking up. And of course, the Clarion Call anthologies are beyond incredible, regardless whether you're a fan of my books or not. They have seasoned authors. Absolutely, I am so tickled to be included amongst their august ranks because I don't feel like I'm worthy, and it's so exciting to be able to be in those pages. So I will be announcing things as they come through. Please remember, if you have not gone out and reviewed books that you have, please do, especially for local authors like myself and Tom Hart and the other authors who are local to us. It's literally our lifeblood. When you review us, especially when you review us on Amazon, it makes such a big difference to how many books we sell and how our books are presented online. And that kind of stuff is really our lifeblood. It gives us the sales which encourage us to keep writing. And I hate to be all about the money, but sometimes it gets tiring eating mac and cheese. I'm lucky I have a family who support me and feed me real food. Not all writers have that. So for those who are out there who are living on the thin gruel that their writing provides, those reviews take it from gruel right up to oatmeal with raisins. So please go out and support them. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because then you'll know when I'm doing my videos. Most of the time I do them on Mondays, but not always. When the book goes live, for instance, I'm going to do a reading from the book, and you'll get a chance to hear something nobody else has heard. And you want that, right? Of course you do. You want to hear what's in the book. It's all exciting. So don't forget to subscribe, sign in, and share the video with people. Please share it with others. And please comment. Comment in YouTube. Comment over on my Facebook page. I don't have so many fans that I can't talk to you guys, and I'm interested in knowing what you have to say. I really want to hear your opinions. I love you guys, and I will see you next week or earlier. Love you guys. Don't forget, subscribe.